and welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see the static routing itself. Since we have already discussed the topology connectivity and IP address configuration in our previous chapter. In this, we will discuss how to configure the static routing. So first of all, just to highlight one point, the IP addresses which is configured between the router, let me just keep the IP addresses actually, just to simplify the same, like 11.0.0.1 we have configured on this, 11.0.0.2 here 12.0.0.1, here 12.0.0.2, here we have configured 13.0.0.1, here 13.0.0.2. This is what the IP addresses we have configured on the every interfaces. Of course, this IP addresses will help you to understand your scenario better. So make sure this is what the IP address is. So first of all, if you want to configure the static routing, make sure you need to configure the static routing in each and every routers for all other routers. For example, take an example. If I will consider this router as a source, this is as a source. So this router will become the destination router. This router will also become the destination router, because I want to communicate with 20.network as well as my 30.network also. So from this router to reach this 20.network, I have two paths. You can go directly. You do have one more path which is via this. You can come via this also. Now, which is the best path being as an administrator? So if you see, this is not at all a best path because you are going via longer path, but this is a direct path which is going to be my best path. Similarly, take an example for 30.network here. If you want to reach from this particular source router, if you want to reach this 30.network, you have two paths. You can go directly to this particular router via this, or you can go via router 2 itself. So which is the best path in this? So you will say this is not at all a best path. This is going to be the best path because directly connected to that, right? So make sure for router 1, if this is a destination, this is the best path. If this is a destination, then this is a best path itself. Okay. Now let's move ahead and do the configuration for this. Make sure this source and destination will change and the IP addresses also will change if you go ahead and configure your router 2 and router 3. Okay. So just a quick point. From this router to reach this particular 20.network, this will be my next hop because this is the best path. For 30.network, this is my best path. So this will be my next hop IP address itself. Okay. So let's move ahead and configure now. So first of all, you'll go to this router and say the configure terminal, and then IP route, destination is this 20.network and also your 30.network, both, correct? No, go to this 20.0.0.0 and subnet mask is 255.255.0, and after that exit interface or next hop IP address. So from this router to reach this 20.network, this is basically your next hop IP address 11.0.0.2. If you define your self exit interface, then this will be your exit interface. No IP address, exit interface you can define directly. But I'll say IP address here, which is the best practice. 11.0.0.2. Done. I need to add one more point here, as from this router itself to reach this 30.network, this will be your next hop IP address 13.0.0.2. Let us configure the same. IP route 30.0.0.0 and then subnet mask and then 13.0.0.2 exit. This is a static route configurations that we have done. If you want to verify, show IP route. See this, to reach 20.network via 11.0.0.2, to reach 30.network via 13.0.0.2. That's it. This is what the configuration for your static route in router 1. In this it is done. Now you need to configure in router 2. So make sure from this particular router to, if this is a destination 10.0.0, then this will be next hop IP address. If 30 is the destination, then this will be your next hop IP address. So let's configure now. See, it's very simple. Go to this and say enable configure terminal IP route 10.0.0.0 and then subnet mask and then next hop IP address. From here to reach 10.network, this is a next hop IP address 11.0.0.1, and for 30.network, (12.0.0.2) will be the next hop IP address. Done. Exit. Show IP route. In the routing table also you can see I have a route to reach the 30.network via 12.0.0.2. I have a network to reach the 10.network also via 11.0.0.1. Done. That's it. After that, I need to configure my router 3 as well. Now make sure for this particular router, if this 20.network is the destination, then I will consider this as my best path, where this will be next hop IP address. For this 10.network, I will consider this as my best path. So this will be my next hop IP address. Of course, you can go via this also, but this is longer path. So this is the best one. Fine. So let's move ahead and do it. So in this router, sorry guys, sometime you may get this kind of error messages. Basically, configure terminal, I have given the wrong command here in the different mode. Normally I need to define this in privilege mode, but I have given this in user mode. So what happens here, routers will think this is a wrong command, and routers IOS is not aware of this configure by default. So that's the main reason it is taking the help of your DNS server. It is asking to domain name server, hey, do you know about this particular command? And to resolve this particular DNS query, it will take some time. Of course, there is no DNS server configured in this environment. So make sure if there is no DNS server configured in this environment, of course it will take time and your request timeout will be there. But it is hampering my demo time because it will not allow you to do anything else. Don't worry, we are not going to see the demo for domain server and all, nothing is required. But make sure, what if you configured any wrong command here? Your routers will stuck and it will do translating. If I want to skip this process, we can define one command which is called as no IP domain lookup. No IP domain lookup. This is a very important command. No IP domain lookup. If you define this no IP domain lookup, after that you define any command here. See, if it is wrong also, there is no challenge. It will not translate. It will not ask to domain server. So it will not stuck. It will allow you to do the jobs. So make sure the command is no IP domain lookup. Now, moving ahead towards the static route configuration. So as we discussed, for this router to reach 20.network, 12.0.0.1 is the next hop. To reach 10.network, 13.0.0.1 is the next hop. Let us configure. IP route 20.0.0.0 and then subnet mask and 12.0.0.1 and then IP route 10.0.0.0 and then 13.0.0.1 is the next hop. Exit, show IP route, verify you must be getting the same. So you see here in this particular routing table, you have the routes to reach the 10.network via 13.1. You have the network to reach 20.network also via 12.1. That's it for your static route configuration. If you want, of course, you can go ahead and verify as well. I will do one thing. I will save my topology as well here. I'll save my topology completely for this. Done. And let us go ahead and check the connectivity now. Static routing is done in this all of your routers. To test your connectivity, I'll go to one of the PC and ping to maybe any other and verify. In PC1, I will go to PC1 and ping to maybe 30002. Let's do it. Ping 30002. Definitely we should get the response for this particular 30002. We should get the response since we have configured a static route. See that? It's possible. Even if I try to ping 20.network, see, from this PC, if I try to ping PC4 or maybe if I try to access your web server, definitely we will get the response here as well. So just to test, you go ahead and type ping 20.0.0.1. I will get the response. The first packet will always drop since it is going to be your ARP request and response, so it will be dropped and other communication is possible. Remember, if I want to access the web server, if you see here in my scenario itself, I'm having one of the web server as well. And if I want to access the web services in this, see this is my web server. And if I want to access web services in this, of course I need to go ahead and follow some of the process. So I'll go to this and this is my URL bar, put up this 20002. I should be able to see the Cisco packet tracer page. Can you see now? This is what? This is basically your web service. We are able to access it. Ping is working, web service is also working. If you remember in our previous chapter, when you was trying to communicate from here to here, of course the communication was not happening. So this is how you can communicate. Not only from here guys, you can go to this and also you can try and ping back to other networks as well. For example, ping 10.0.0.1, definitely communication is possible. Can you see that? Even if you try to ping your 20.network also, you must be getting the 20.network response as well. Of course it is getting. If you want to access your web services also, you need to click on this web browser and put up the web server IP address and see the response as well. So let's just verify. So I have clicked on this and this is my URL bar and see this is a Cisco packet tracer page. Done. That's it. So this is how you can go ahead and do your testing. Now this is how you can go ahead and configure the static routing guys. If you see in this process, completely manual job. You are going to add the routes. Of course, yes, you need to do it manually. Say for example, what if I want to remove the configuration from here? You know what you have to do? If you remember, if you define show run here, see, show running config. So you know, you have defined this command actually. Just hit enter, it will show you the same configuration what we have done. See, there are many configuration is present, but we have to focus here. This is what the command we have defined. If you want to remove the static routing, you need to use this particular command itself to remove it. See, I want to remove configure terminal, no to this line and use this particular. See, means we have successfully removed the static routing. If I want to remove, what I will do? You need to copy this and say no to this and paste. Successfully. Just save this and verify show IP route. See, static route is removed from here. This is how you can remove that. How to add and how to remove. We are good to clear. We are good to go ahead. Of course, yes. If I go to next router and try to remove the same. So first of all, I will define show run and verify the configuration. Of course, this is my configuration. I'll copy this and go to configure terminal, no to this line. One more line. This is what the next line. Copy and paste. No. Exit WR. Show IP route. Of course, static route is removed from here. Similarly, if I want to remove it from this particular router 3 as well, let us check it out how exactly you can go ahead and remove it. Again, you will say show run and see this. This is what your configuration. I'll say no to this line. No to this line is all about to remove that. No to another line to remove that. exit, save this, show IP route. See that? So this is how you can add and how you can remove. Now, finally, one of the major point which I would like to keep in this is about advantage and disadvantage. And that is something is about static routing is more manual. Each and everything you need to configure manually. If you want to add, if you want to remove, everything manual job. So it is very difficult to manage if you have the more and more routers connected together. Of course, it is going to be very fast because routers are aware of your routing into the routing table the moment you are going to add the part. But yes, it is more manual. So that's where administrator says that we will not use the static route. Majorly, we will use the dynamic route if we have the multiple routers and multiple, big topologies. So make sure. So we'll discuss about advantage and disadvantage in detail later on as well. But that's it for this particular lecture, guys. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.